Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 3840 AN. Today's date is February 15th, 2026, and the title of the episode is The Financial Experts Were All Wrong. They Don't Understand the New Economic System. Now, you know, it's very interesting. If you're like me and you're getting to that age where your body just feels sluggish and off all the time, then listen up. Because Dr. Josh explains that most of the time, this is caused by clogged liver. You probably already heard about how important your liver is for detoxification, digestion, and energy levels. But here's the thing. Most people have no idea how clogged and overburdened the liver actually is. Eating processed food, drink, and even stress, these things can take a toll, leaving your liver clogged. And it's important not to let this go unchecked because your liver is the most important organ in your body, being responsible for the proper function of nearly every system in your body, from digestion to metabolism to detoxification. Essentially, a healthy liver equals a healthy you. That's why Dr. Josh, a practicing doctor with over 25 years medical experience, formulated a special liver supplement called Ultra Liver that acts like a deep cleanse for your entire body. He told me that Ultra Liver just crossed over 500,000 bottles sold and has received thousands of 5-star reviews from happy customers and patients. So say goodbye to chronic fatigue, bloating, and skin, and say hello to renewed energy, clear thinking, and a body that is operating 100% again. And this is powerful stuff. You're not going to get results like this from any random liver supplement. Dr. Josh put his 25 plus years of experience into Ultra Liver to make sure that it actually does what it's supposed to. So if you're ready to unclog your liver and flush the dangerous toxins that are sapping your energy and preventing you from losing weight, just go to tryultraliver.com/X22 to get your hands on Ultra Liver today. By the way, it's your lucky day because Dr. Josh is running a summer sale where you can get up to 50% off Ultra Liver for a limited time. But this special offer is only available through our link for our audience. The link is right below this video in the description box. Do yourself a favor and go click it and take back control of your liver health today. That is tryultraliver.com/X22. Let's get right into the economic collapse financial news. Now, the deep state, the corrupt politicians, the private West Central Bank, the World Economic Forum, you can see the financial experts, the Fed, the D's, they've all been wrong and Trump has been right. And you can see what Biden and team did before Trump came into office. They set the entire economic system up so it would completely and utterly fail during Trump's administration. And you could see that with the job numbers. You could see that with inflation. You could see that with the high fuel costs. You could see that with the student loan delinquencies. And what they did was they hid the information to make everyone believe that the economy was strong. Everything was great. Look, no one's delinquent on their student loans. It's almost like, hey, there's no crime with all the illegals in the country, but we didn't tell you the part where we're not reporting the crime. So Biden was doing the same exact thing. And they were setting it up so the entire thing would just collapse under Trump. And like we said from the very, very beginning, they never expected Trump to build the new economic system so quickly. And you have to remember the financial experts, the D's, the central bank, they're all in line with the central bank system. It's been controlling the entire economic system for a long time. And they've taken full control of the economy. But with Trump, with his tariff system, this allows him leverage against them. It allows him to push against what they're trying to do. And this is something they never expected. And they never expected Trump to go across the world and make deals across the world. Because we have to remember, what he's doing right now is he's building an income system to compete against a debt system. The plan is to remove the private West Central Bank, remove the source of a lot of the problems that we have today, the fraud, the corruption, you name it. And he is also battling China at the same exact time. Because you have to remember the deep state, the central bankers, what did they want to do? They wanted to push the Green New Scam across the world. They wanted central bank digital currency. And they wanted everything to be located in China. This is why we have the president of Germany out there, Merz, saying, yeah, China's the place. That's why Starmer's down in China making deals. This is why they keep looking to China, because actually what Trump is doing right now, he's forcing these individuals within Europe to take sides. Which side are you on? Are you on the side of America or are you on the side of China and the central bankers? And I think we know the answer to all of this. They're on the side of the central bankers in China. But you can see China is going to continually fight back. they will push back. This is why China decided to implement zero tariff treatment for imports from 53 African countries. So China has diplomatic relations. They're loaning money to the African nations. The African nations are following the Green New scam. They decided to place zero tariffs on these nations because what did Trump do? Well, he issued an executive order, 14257, applying a 10% baseline tariff on imports from nearly all countries, plus additional country-specific rates of 11 to 50% on 57 nations, including 20 African ones. And basically, out of the African countries, there are certain things where he's, placing tariffs on and other things where he is not. So minerals and things like that, or pharmaceuticals, those are exempt. So we could see what China is trying to do, but in the long run, this is going to fail just like everything else. And once again, you could see as the United States moves away from the central bank system and China moves towards a digital central bank currency, you're going to see the separation. Countries around the world are going to see the separation. And they're going to have to make a decision in the end. Because when you see the other countries where their economies are not improving, and you see the United States economy improving every single day and getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and the people's way of life is getting better, what do you think is going to happen? Plus, what do you think is going to happen with China with their manufacturing base? Right now, yes, Africa right now has made a deal with China. There's no tariffs whatsoever. But again, when manufacturers move out of China and they're repositioned into the United States, what do you think is going to happen? All of a sudden, everything's going to shift to the United States. Trump, he knows this. He's preparing for this. And China's right now trying to counter all of this because you have to remember, it's not just one thing. Trump is taking everything the globalists have done and he's bringing it back to the United States. Everything that they stole from us, he's bringing it right back. And you can see that there are countries out there that are following in the central bank footstep. Now think about this. Out in Netherlands, the House of Representatives, they approved a 36% tax on unrealized capital gains. Where did we hear this before? They wanted to do this in this country. The D's were talking about this. They were like, hey, those investments that you have in the stock market, if you make unrealized capital gains, we want to tax you. It's almost like California saying, hey, we know that we taxed you once and you put your money into the bank, but now we want to tax that money once again. And they're talking about taxing the saving accounts and the checking accounts. Hey, you know what's interesting? We've all seen the headlines about those miracle weight loss shots, but the 2026 data is officially in, and it's a wake-up call. A major analysis revealed that once people stop the injections, they regain an average of 60% of their weight within a year. Even worse, most of the gain is pure fat, but the muscle they lost stays gone, leaving them with a crashed metabolism and a body that's functionally older than when they started. That's why I'm obsessed with today's sponsor, GLP-1 Elevate. Instead of using needles to override my system, it uses clinically studied plant-based ingredients like metabolate to help my body naturally boost its own hunger control signals. I get the same fullness and fewer cravings, but without the scary side effects or the metabolic rebound. It supports my goals while protecting my muscles so I can actually keep the results for good. To celebrate Valentine's Day, get 50% off GLP-1 Elevate at trimwithx22.com. Every order includes a complete support bundle with a free VIP coaching for life, a 60-day money-back guarantee, and free express shipping on subscriptions. Head over to trimwithx22.com now to claim your 50% discount before it expires, or just click the link in the description. And this is what happens when the central bank system breaks down. You need more of a way of funding the system. You need to take more and more from the people. And if you look over time, this is exactly what has happened. Number one, taxes have increased dramatically since the introduction of the central bank system. Ask yourself a simple question. Why? Because the central bank system breaks down over time. The currency loses value. So what do you have to do? You have to take from the people. Plus, when you have an open-end credit card, what happens? You keep borrowing and borrowing, adding to the debt. And if interest rates are high, you have interest on that debt. To fund all of this, what do you have to do? You have to tax the people. So the system breaks down over time. Plus, you also have that hidden tax, which is the devaluation of the currency. So yes, as the central bank system breaks down, this is exactly what they have to do. But like we said from the very, very beginning, we could see that Biden/Obama, they set all of this up because they wanted it to crash around Trump. But Trump, he pretty much countered all of this. And EJ Antonio, PhD, confirms this is exactly what they did. So he's pointing to a post on X, which is from the Kobesi letter. Let me just read what the Kobesi letter says. A record 16.4% of student loan transitioned into 30-day delinquencies in the fourth quarter of 2025. This exceeds the 2013 peak by 4.8 percentage points. Furthermore, a record of 16.2% of student loans transitioned into serious 90-plus days delinquencies. This percentage has more than doubled. EJ responded to this and said the following. It's really not true that this percentage has more than doubled since the first quarter of 2025 because the Biden administration was literally hiding the data. They announced that delinquencies would not be reported to credit bureaus, but the accounts were nevertheless in delinquencies. Just like there's crime happening in all these cities, but they hid it because they didn't report it. So if a tree falls in a forest and you don't hear it or you don't see it, does it mean the tree didn't fall? No, it fell. The same thing happening here. Crime in cities are happening even though if you don't report it. Delinquencies are happening even though you don't report it. Now the question is, why aren't they reporting it? Now, of course, yes, number one is to make their economy look good while he was in the residency. Number two, they hid all of this because, again, when Trump was coming into office, they wanted all of this to come rushing at Trump, and he wanted the economy to go in a free fall. They wanted the entire system to break down and go into a deep recession or depression. Now, I do believe during the Biden administration, since we're finding out all this information is fake, we've always been in a recession during the Biden administration. With inflation this high, the job numbers fake, the delinquencies not being reported, how could we not be in a recession? Think about that for a second. And think about it. The rates were so high that nobody could do anything. And think about it. During Trump's time right now, he's brought the rates way down. He put this out on Truth and said, mortgage rates under Biden each term. First 8%, then he came down to 7%, then 6%. Now Trump is at 5%. And once Trump gets control of the Federal Reserve, or he makes his suggestions to the Federal Reserve, we're going to see rates come down to 3, 2, 1. And you're going to see a lot of young people start to purchase homes like we've never seen before. Plus, the amount that we have to pay on the debt is far less. The credit card interest rates is far less. Those people that are purchasing automobiles is far less. Those businesses that want to borrow and expand their businesses, the interest rate, the expense is far less, which means you're going to see the entire economic system expand. That's what we're going to see. And you can see that all the experts were wrong about inflation, about the tariffs, because they don't understand the new economic system. All they understand is the Federal Reserve System. They've been trained to understand the Federal Reserve System. They've been trained to believe what the Federal Reserve is saying that, hey, you know what? Tariffs cause inflation. Printing money doesn't. It's actually the opposite. And what's very interesting is the Bureau of Labor Statistics, they've released the January inflation data, and the results are much better than expected. Overall inflation is 2.4% year over year, and there are zero indications that tariffs are having any impact on consumer prices whatsoever. Core inflation, which removes food and energy, comes in 2.5% year over year, the lowest number since March 2021. This is like reliving 2018 all over again, when the pundits proclaimed with absolute certainty that Trump's tariff approach was going to cause inflation. It never happened. They're all wrong. They have no idea what causes inflation. Actually, when you listen to those individuals in the Biden administration, they had no idea that printing money, putting more money into circulation causes inflation. Yes, other things add to it, like high energy costs. Yes, that adds to it. Bringing in illegals in and having the low-wage people do the jobs. Yes, that adds to inflation because, again, you're giving them homes, you're giving them benefits, you're giving them all these things. Yeah, but the main factor of inflation going all the way back to 1971 is the creation of currency and the borrowing of currency and putting the currency into circulation. You dilute the currency. The more out there, the less it's worth. Let's use a very simple example. If there was an unlimited supply of gold, never ending, what would gold be worth? Do you think it would be worth a lot? Or do you think it would go down in value every single day if they just said, we just found an unlimited amount of gold? It's never ending. Gold would be worthless. But since there's a finite amount of gold, a finite amount of silver, a finite amount of Bitcoin, it's worth something. You see, with the central bank system, since they can just print and there's an unlimited supply of currency, as you continually put that currency into circulation, it becomes worthless. But think about what Trump has done here. He has brought down the prices on pretty much everything. Actually, 71 prices fell in January. So when you look at this, you could see that eggs are down by 7%, fuel oil is down 5.7%, pork chops down by 4%, men's suits down by 3.3%, lettuce down by 2.8%, men's pants and shorts down by 2.4%, peanut butter down by 2.2%, and the list goes on and on. Actually, if you look at certain items from a year ago, you could see they're way, way down. The list that I just read is just when Trump came into office. If you go back to Biden's time to Trump's term, eggs are down 34%. Moving storage freight expenses down 15%. Smartphones down 10%. Gasoline down 8%. Admission to sporting events down 6%. Men's suits down 6%. Butter down 5%. Televisions down 4.8%. So you can see that Trump, what he's doing right now is working. The financial pundits, the experts as they call themselves, they're completely and utterly wrong, and Trump is right once again. And as Trump continually goes down this line and pushes the new system, you're going to see that the central bank system is really going to buckle under its own weight of corruption, under the system that doesn't work for the people. And they're going to have a very difficult time fighting against Trump's new system. And this is why you see certain groups, yes, China's one of them, which probably hired out many others. The central bank is also included because you have to remember the central bank really wants the economy to fail because they want to bring us into the Great Reset. And this is why they've been suing Trump. And I think the Supreme Court is going to hear additional oral arguments on February 20th. And again, it depends on what the Supreme Court does, but you can see every step of the way what Trump is doing with the new system. He is actually making the economy stronger and better every single day. And like we said for a long time, going all the way back to when Trump came into office, as we go throughout 2026, the economic system is going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And wait until you see what happens after tax season, when people start to get their refunds, when people start to report that this is absolutely incredible. Yeah, the fake news are going to try to hide it. They're going to try to spin it. But the people are going to know the reality of it. They're going to understand that, no, this really helped me out. Getting this refund really helped. And this is going to spread across the country. And this is what Trump is doing right now. He's giving the people a strong economy because when you give people jobs, higher wages, tax returns, you remove taxes, remove the income tax, you do all of these things, people feel good, they feel happy, and they want more of it. And this is how you fight against the central bank system. This is how you fight against the deep state players. And once again, you could see that every step of the way, Trump is winning. Not just winning for America, but winning for the world. Because in the end, what is he going to do? He's going to remove the source of our problem. The source of the problem is the open-ended credit card. It is the Federal Reserve. And this is why the founding fathers never wanted this. This is why this is the third one. They got rid of the other two. Ask yourself a simple question. Why didn't we keep them? Because they damage America. They enslave the people. That is why. And now we're getting rid of the third one. Listen, everyone. Thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.